let's begin by singing together from the hymnal, number 186.
186.
186. I am God's melody of life. He sings his song through me. I am God's rhythm and harmony. He sings his song through me. A song of life, of radiant life, of life so full and free. I am God's melody of life. He sings his song through me. I am God's melody of life. He sings his song through me. I am God's rhythm and harmony. He sings his song through me. A song of life, of radiant life, of life so full and free. I am God's melody of life. He sings his song through me.
Thank you. Good morning. Happy Halloween. Let's see, it seems that just staff is the only ones that celebrated it, because the rest of you are wearing your usual costumes. Yeah. Happy Sunday. Welcome to this special time. This time where we open our minds and our hearts to connect with infinite love and wisdom. Welcome to Unity of Rochester, where our God is love, our race is human, our faith is oneness, where we teach universal truth, unconditional love, and abundant life, where we affirm the power of prayer. John. So we have a prayer box where the prayer chaplains regularly look into it and share your prayer requests with the rest of our prayer ministry. So it's usually in the back, and there are prayer requests there. There are some prayer request slips by your, where the hymnals are, under the chair there. Thank you, John. Sure. We begin with a classic unity affirmation. Next word. I'm now in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. This has been affirmed almost throughout Unity's history. Join me in declaring this. I am now in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. Sometimes you can sense it when you walk into a church. You can feel that presence. You can feel the energy surrounding you. Today, we're talking about personalizing that presence, personalizing that energy, and claiming it as our own. And so we modify this to claim I am the presence of pure being and the activity of life, love, and wisdom. Declare that with me. I am the presence of pure being, the activity of life, love, and wisdom. How does that feel? true. You are the presence of pure being. You are the activity of life, love, and wisdom. Every one of us is. All of creation, all of existence is the activity of God. The energy of the Holy Spirit is present everywhere, in everything, in everyone. It's within us. And there's a reason that it's within us. The creative activity of the divine is unfolding through us. We are here to be a blessing to the world, to make a difference. So we identify not only as the presence of pure being, not only as the activity of the divine, but as a blessing to the world.
You are the hands, you are the heart, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and all we are, and all we do is a blessing to the world. We are the hands, we are the heart, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and all we are, and all we do is a blessing to the world. You are the hands, you are the heart, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and all you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. I am the hands, I am the heart, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and all I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. We are the hands, we are the heart, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and all we are, and all we do is a blessing to the world. You're a blessing to the world. You're a blessing to the world.
All right. Beautiful. Halloween's one of the biggest holidays of the year for retailers. A lot of money involved with Halloween. A lot of fun things, too, for kids. A lot of parties. Last day in October, first day in November has been a holiday throughout history has a lot of different names. Even today, All Saints' Day, Day of the Dead, Samhain in the Wiccan or pagan tradition. It's a day when supposedly the veil between this world and the other world is really thin. And so there are a lot of spooky things. It's one of those cross-quarter days. It's halfway between the solstice and the equinox. And so there are a lot of celebrations around that just because of the way the calendar goes. But it's a holiday. It's the beginning of the holiday season. It's a good day to give yourself a gift, because we're beginning a series here on the 7 spiritual laws of success. 7 weeks from now takes us into the Christmas season. And success is a good gift to offer to yourself. What form might that take? It's about more than money. This is more than a prosperity course. This is about living abundantly. This is about achieving dreams, feeling really good about where you are, who you are, and what you're doing. That's success. It's based on a book by Deepak Chopra. We have a few copies left in the bookstore, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. It's a little book, dense, good stuff in it, easy to read. It's about spiritual laws. Not rules. You know, there's a difference between law and rules. There are lots of rules around, but laws are something that are basic. I read somewhere that the government of communist China passed a law saying that the Dalai Lama is not allowed to reincarnate without the permission of the government. Some laws are really silly, all right, but spiritual laws are like gravity. It's something that's basic, something that you can't ignore, something that you have to work with. You work with it by establishing a consciousness, an alignment with spiritual laws so that you can move with it, succeed with it. There's an aphorism from the tradition of alchemy that says, the laws of nature are like a miller's wheel. They will grind you into powder unless you become the miller. Become the miller. Become the one that understands spiritual laws, that can align with it and use it. Become a co-creator. So, when I was in ministerial school, we would hear about spiritual laws, and we would say, what are they? Give me the list. And nobody really had it. They had some examples. The law of giving and receiving is a spiritual principle, spiritual law. The law of mind action, the power of our thoughts, what we hold ends up showing up in our lives. That's a law. That's truth. Whether we understand it or like it or not, that's the way things are. Another spiritual law is the first spiritual law in the book here. We are pure potentiality. I had never heard that before I encountered this book. We are pure potentiality. So the law of pure potentiality applies to God. It applies to ourselves. So it's about the nature of God and the nature of and our nature. So let's look at ourselves first. Today, probably right now, kids are getting their costumes ready. Maybe they're putting on makeup. Maybe they're trying to figure out how to attach their butterfly wings. But they're excited about today. They've been planning their costumes. Wonder how they decide what to be. Angels or devils or princesses or Power Rangers. There's something about their dreams or what they like that might help them choose a costume, a part of themselves perhaps. So, what about adults? How do adults choose costumes? Well, instead of wearing my usual minister's costume, I'm in cowboy today. Okay? I'm not sure what Jerry is aspiring to.
You'll find out.
Okay, I'll find out. All right. I had a buddy in Pittsburgh who was what we would call him now is a sexual predator. His favorite costume was a werewolf. That revealed something of himself. Okay? He did that year after year. There are different things within ourselves that sometimes we become aware of and sometimes we don't become aware of. Sometimes they're hidden. We play different parts. The part that's most important within us is the part that is called the divine spark, or the Christ within, the presence of God, Atman, the Buddha nature. Hard to put on a costume for that, but that's the most important part to be clear about. To be clear about the presence of God within us. Whatever we call it, that presence of God within us is pure potentiality. Now, sometimes we think that that spark, that presence of God is hidden, is kind of separate from our senses, separate from our ordinary thinking. There's only one presence and one power. There's no separation. That presence and power of God, the pure potentiality of spirit, is working through our bodies and our senses and our words and our thoughts. There's no separation. Our entire being is pure potentiality. Kind of hard to say, I am the Christ. But we can say, I am the presence of pure being. I am a blessing to the world. I am the activity of life, love, and wisdom. Acknowledging what's basically true, deeply true, eternally true about us. It's our true nature. It's also a quality of the divine. Maybe not the only quality, but it's a quality of the divine that I got in understanding whenever I first read that book, and it has made an important impact on my life ever since. God is pure potentiality, is not separate somewhere. It's easy to think about God being somewhere, within, above, within everything. God's not separate. There was for the longest time, one way of understanding the divine, one way they talked about God was as a clockmaker, that the Creator created the universe, got it all going, and sits back and watches. The cosmic clockmaker. Well, there was some consistency with science about that. Because, a clock runs down when it runs out of energy, or whenever it needs to be wound again, it winds down. And for the longest time, science thought that was what was true of the universe. That the universe came into being with, boom, one big bang. And like a firework, goes off, and it goes out in all directions, eventually fizzles out. There was an assumption that the universe would eventually fizzle out. That's called entropy, winding down. Well, scientists have discovered that in trying to figure out how fast the universe is expanding and if it's slowing, how much it's slowing down, they find that out on the edges of the universe, it's accelerating. It's not slowing down. There is no entropy. There is only increasing existence. Being is coming into itself at an accelerating rate. What is getting bigger and bigger, faster and faster. And even now they're saying there wasn't just one big bang, that there were a lot of them. Kind of like the finale at a fireworks show, just going and going and going and going. Interesting things the scientists are coming up with. Interesting things that spirituality is coming up with. Ongoing creation. And that creation, existence, is the activity of consciousness. It's an activity of the mind of God. The mind of God is active through our minds, through our hands, through our hearts. That existence is coming into being, goodness is continually being created through us, through everyone, everywhere. It's not something that was finished and done with. It is ongoing. And it's ongoing through our consciousness as well. Even scientists are saying that the basis of all existence, the basis of the universe, the basis of material existence is an idea, is consciousness. So, if the divine is pure potentiality, how do we think of that? Well, one of the most ancient ways of thinking of God works here. Like God as the sun, continually shining. You can't turn it on or turn it off. It's a little limited because eventually the sun is going to fizzle. But it's going to be a long time. And so assume that the sun was eternal. That keeps shining and shining and shining on everyone, everywhere, nurturing creation. Another way of thinking of it is the water at Niagara Falls. Just keeps coming. Just keeps flowing. Our job is to connect with it, align with it. When we do that, we can do remarkable things. So the first step in a creative process, the first step in moving towards success is spiritual. Is to have this idea of a continual flow, pure potentiality within us, within everybody, all around us. And it's flowing, it's unfolding, it's not waiting, well, we're waiting to let it flow through us. But it's flowing everywhere. We need to connect with it. How do you connect with it? How do you connect with the flow of pure potential? Chopra has some suggestions. Be quiet. Turn off the TV. Stop talking. There's a classic exercises in contemplative communities of silence. Don't talk. You know, we spend a lot of energy talking. I've spent some time in retreats, and I've gone, one time I went 2 days without talking. My mind didn't like that. It said, I gotta say something, okay? Because we're used to talking. We're used to the energy coming out like that until there was a kind of silence, even though I was active, not talking. So it could be very difficult to do with a family, at work, with friends, okay? But that's one thing. You can connect with pure potentiality in silence. Another way to connect with it is in nature, because we can observe the unfoldment of creation in nature. We look and listen, smell, open ourselves to be inspired by nature. Another suggestion it has is an interesting one in a way of getting in touch with the divine within and around us, is non-judgment. Stop saying yes and no. Stop saying good and bad. Stop saying agree, disagree. Just say, that's interesting. Interesting. Don't judge. So it's easy to not judge trees or squirrels. It's easy to not judge, well, it's a little more difficult to not judge the weather, but we can. But then when it comes to not judging each other, boy, or not judging ourselves, that's a real test. Classic unity song in the hymnal. I behold the Christ in you. I behold the perfection within you. Look to see pure potentiality in trees, in squirrels, in clouds, and in people, and in yourself. Instead of evaluating, instead of forming opinions, just look for the depth, look for the truth that's underlying everything. And the classic way of connecting with the presence of God within is meditation. We talk about that all the time. Some of us do that regularly, or some of us intend to do that regularly. Okay? It's a wonderful practice. So we do it every Sunday here. Okay? We have a meditation time. So today's meditation is about connecting with that presence and power, connecting with pure potentiality. God gives us love and joy and peace. God gives me love and joy and peace. I am love and joy and peace. So these are the words to our meditation song. God to us, to ourselves. Sing the first verse twice so that we can catch up with the melody. Okay?
Joy
radiating out through your heart. The energy of life radiate through your fingertips, through your hands, and your rest of your body is vibrant with the life of God. The light of God is shining through your mind. As creative ideas and possibilities. You are radiant with the light and the life and the love of God. You might say to yourself, I am the presence of pure being. I am the activity of life, love, and wisdom. I am pure potentiality. I am God's melody of life. I am a blessing to the world. I am. I am. I am. Continue to repeat I am. Connecting with the truth of who you are. Connecting with the eternal I am that you are. Let that be clear. I am. One clear voice that you listen to, that you are. Listen and be in the clarity of your true identity in the silence. In the silence. Be clear. I am. How would you complete that? What's the clarity that you have about the truth of your being? Let that be a clear voice within you.
Path to take. Sometimes I'm so afraid to make mistakes, but somewhere inside me, stronger than my fears, just like the sound of music to my ears, I hear one if I'm very still, I will hear one clear voice. The whole world is talking, drowning out my voice. How can I hear myself with all this noise? But all this confusion just disappears when I find a quiet place where I can hear. I hear one clear voice calling out for me to listen. One clear voice that whispers words of wisdom. I close my eyes till I find what I've been missing. And if I'm very still, I will hear one clear voice. I close my eyes till I find what I've been missing. And if I'm very still, I will hear one clear voice.
Ooh. Oh. Boy, I'd just like to stay in that wonderful place. Now's the time in our service whenever we bless the giving of our lives, bless the giving of our plans, bless the giving of our gifts in support of Unity Rochester. We have a usual love offering blessing. And if you're, let's see, do I have my phone here? No. Okay. You can text a donation, an amount, to 833-600-0262. Okay. 40% of our contributions, 40% of our financial support comes electronically. And some of you that give electronically don't have anything to put in the basket when it goes by. So we print it up, so there's a little green slips under the chairs there. It says, I bless Unity of Greater Rochester with my prayers and my financial support. So you have something for you to put in when the basket goes by. Okay. So, ushers, if you'd stand, come forward. You might hold your offering in your hand, hold it in your heart, and bless it. Bless it with these familiar words. Let's declare them together. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. and I am grateful. So it is. So it is. We have a few announcements. Seven Spiritual Laws of Success, Tuesday evening. There are these things that look like bulletins. Oops. I'm not used to wearing high heels. There are a number of thought-provoking questions on the back here about Chapter 1, the introduction in Chapter 1. You know, how comfortable are you with being silent for an extended period? What would a regular meditation schedule look like for you? So some things for you to consider and that we can discuss on Tuesday evening. Okay, so this book is available, and we're continuing with noon meditations on Thursday, and the Course in Miracles is continuing on Thursday evening. Barb?
Course in Miracles is from 7 to 8:30.
That's right. I meant to change that. I got that corrected last week. Okay, Course in Miracles starts at 7. Any other announcements? There's soup and salad available after the service today because we're having a membership meeting after that. So we're going to give you something for your energy to take to the meeting. Okay, so would the ushers come forward? You have blessed these gifts. They've been blessed by your thoughts and your presence. I give thanks on behalf of this community for your support of Unity of Greater Rochester. And I dedicate these gifts to do the work of abundant life, unconditional love, and universal truth. So combine them, and the prayer box will be in the back. Thank you, William, Anne-Marie. So, now we're going to say the prayer for protection. Who are we going to say it for? Today's service has been focused on ourselves. Let's focus this prayer on ourselves as well. So let's say the light of God surrounds me. Okay? And then as that sinks in, that empowers us to be who we are and to make a difference in the world. Let's say it together. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. And let there be peace. Let's stand up for this. This with me. Peace, peace, peace. The food is in the classroom. Okay, you go down that hallway or around to get to it. Okay, see you there.